Hello ladies and gents, so today we are looking at Total War Warhammer 3. In particular, we are going to be trying to play a campaign. We're not doing legendary. Not legendary. We're going to be playing a very hard campaign. Now, one of the things with a very hard campaign, to make it a little bit extra fun, we're going to be picking some factions that are generally quite unfun to play. Generally these are factions that are kind of boring, potentially their mechanics are quite bad, they might not have much depth. So I was asked around on Reddit, and as well as just from having a look at the achievements, and we came up with three different faction options. But just in case you haven't played the game, you can see that it's a nice little fantasy game. You've got several different factions. We got our humans. We've got your typical orcs. We got dwarfs. Your little shorts. You've got the undead, wherever they are. There they are. They're spooky. But the three factions it kind of gave us as options, it came up a lot. It was Norska. Now, Norska is probably not the one we're going to do. Because Norska, whilst yes, maybe not the most fun in the past, has recently just had an update, and I currently do not have that DLC. But I imagine this is going to change. Those two factions happen to be... one of them, elegant, mighty species, intent on doing... If Norska could shut up, we're just going to click on, I don't know, who's going to be quiet? Carl, be quiet. One of those factions, elegant, proud, the pinnacle of their species. The other faction is French, and we are going to be playing today the French. And because Bretonnia is probably one of the factions in Total War Warhammer 3 at the moment, it's currently lacking in just they seem really bad at the moment. Bad in the sense of their content's just not fun, their mechanics are kind of a bit outdated, and you'll see more. If I had to rate the best campaign experience, it's probably Rapance at the moment. So of course we're not playing her. We are going to be playing possibly the worst of the Albaric the Bordelot. He recently got an update that allowed him to be good in sea lanes, but he is still disgustingly French. To the level where he is not particularly fun to play. In particular because, again, he does not... If we can look at our map option, we're starting all the way here in Lustria. Lustria contains lots of dinosaurs, which means our peasants are going to be worthless. But yeah, let's click on him. Still doesn't. I don't even think he has a unique model yet. Maybe he does now. So yeah, one of the things about Albaric. So we're starting in Lustria.
I swear to seek the Grail. May the lady grant me the strength.
So we start as Albaric. He starts not in a brilliant location. You can see we're currently at war with Talaxalan. They own quite a lot of land, and we've currently got Pochik waiting for us here. Now Albaric, the fun little lad that he is, does start with a paladin called Pierre Lemoux. I massively mispronounced that. I don't care. He's French. He's going in here. Notably, our army is pretty shite. It's mostly just man-at-arms, some foot squires, which are not too terrible,
Even if it should be my final quest in this life.
and of course some bows and some Knights of the Realm. Now, this is part of the reason that Bretonnia is a boring faction. Currently, our only mechanics are we have some technologies, which this does allow quick confederation with nearby factions, so we can confederate Bretonnia despite being all the way over here, I believe. So we're going to immediately start doing that, because it would be nice to get some land that's not in Bretonnia. Now, the other issue is basically that they have this chivalry mechanic up here. This can be quite good, as we can see it scales. We get some good leadership, and we get lords starting with knights vows, questing vows as we get further along. The problem is a lot of our units are locked behind a vow system. So if I click on Albaric here, you'll notice he has a vow system. Currently, he only has completed the knight's vow. Now, we're going to do Pledge Campaign, because we're going to win a siege battle in a jungle or climate, because we're in Lustria. It's basically all jungle. It'd be silly not to. But every new lord we get, in order to get certain units at a decent or even moderate price, we have to complete these vows. You can see here, it just massively reduces upkeep. Now, we start in Bregon. Bregon is not a brilliant settlement. We're immediately going to demolish that building. And we're going to immediately start building... Well, actually, no, we're going to keep it for now. We're going to keep it for now. Because Bretonia doesn't have much that can actually be built in its minor settlements. We are going to build some fields. That'll give us more income. We're not going to upgrade this. As much as I would love questing knights and that's the realm, we're going to wait till we actually get a good settlement, and we're going to upgrade our Bretonian fishing harbour. Purely so we have a harbour. What is the next move? Well, we're going to do our first battle. We're going to show this fat toad. Decisive victory, casualties low. We are going to play it because the first battle of every campaign you should always play. I think it's a good way to see what your units are doing. So here we've loaded in. We can see the enemy forces have lined up. They've got some skinky boys. These are adorable little reptiles. And then they're much larger cousins, who are not as adorable. Meanwhile, we've got our shit-scared peasants. You can tell these people are not thrilled about the prospect of fighting big dinos. We've got some foot squires. These guys are a little bit less scary. Scared. They are still only squires, though. And we've got some bows. The bulk of a Bretonian army, at least their good units, rely on these. Here are Knights of the Realm. Bretonia's strength is very much in his cavalry. Unfortunately, their cavalry is kind of currently. So Albaric is going to hang around here. As much as he'd be useful leading a charge, I'm going to need him to keep those peasants in line. Otherwise, these filthy little peasantses might decide to flee. We want... We're immediately going to move our cavalry around the flank. Just what we're going to do with the cavalry is we're going to take out their skink skirmishers. And we're going to wait for them to come to us because we have bows. So it looks like the enemy is not moving. Okay, no, they're doing a weird movement. So I'm going to group this lot and we're just going to move forward. See our massive peasants just charging down the hill, eager to fight the glory of Bretonia. I'm just going to keep moving the cavalry around so that the AI doesn't get any smart decisions. Oh. Nope. And ooh, we can see Albaric just took a shooting there. Alongside those peasants. Two of which died. I'm going to immediately start filing with arrows. Now I think Albaric could fight the fat turd. So what we're going to do, we're going to start doing a frontline charge as the AI does not seem to have the intent to actually charge us. We're going to use our cavalry to just crush these range units. And Bretonian Knights are cool. They get this little nice... Oh, look at this charge. In we go, in we go. Oh, yeah, there we go. And look at the lizards fly. Ooh. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. And here we go again. Come on. Yeah. Brilliant. Then lizards flying. Our front lines are holding up well. The peasants, whilst not having the funnest of times, thankfully are holding their ground. We are going to do this. Albaric is currently slaughtering the priest, who apparently has his back to him. He's so much... This priest is so much of a chat, he doesn't even need to look at Albaric. I'm going to send our arrows into this Sora Spear unit. And yeah, we have basically already crushed their rear guard of... Well, not rear guard, their archers. So we're going to start crashing the horses into the back of these skink cohorts. In the hope of breaking them. Yes, there we go. Hammer and anvil. And that immediate break from them is beautiful to watch. So again, Bretonia is all about trying to do morale damage where possible with cav charges very much. And we can see the enemy army has flared. We're just going to wait and see if Albaric can hunt down the... Yep, there we go. Despite his chattiness, he did still die. Again, with his back to Albaric. So, honestly, hats up. And yeah, again, very easy. Very good. As you can see there, the bulk of the work actually was done by some foot squires. But the gold value, and particularly one unit of knights. Albaric himself obviously did not do much, but we did have him challenging the enemy lord for the duration of that fight. And there we go. immediately we've kind of done some crushing. Now, you'll see here we can't actually ransom captives without suffering some chivalry. So we're going to just execute them.
Their names shall be forgotten.
And with that resolve, we can immediately take our first settlement.
By lance and sword.
Decisive victory, we'll siege that,
Deliver justice.
take it out, occupy it.
Prosper under Bretonnian law.
And you'll see now we've done that. Capture a province. We are close to doing that. Now the question is, did Albaric complete his Grail vow? Win a siege battle. So technically, because there was no walls and this wasn't a major settlement, this was not a siege battle. Once we take Talaxalan, we might be looking at a siege battle. One thing I am going to do now is get some Knights Errant. Yeah, we're just going to get a little bit more cav. So I'm going to build him up on the blue line just to make sure we're getting our lovely doubly route marcher. Now, I think I'm going to go bonded service, potentially, because that's going to... yeah, let's go bonded service.
The lady commends me.
And we're going to buff ourselves with training to make sure our units are, getting trained quicker. We are going to do a little bit of diplomacy. We can see we've got Aquitaine over here.
Best they could find to negotiate?
Thank you, Mr. Frenchman. Say the French, even the French don't like each other. And we're not going to peace out Talaxalan because we would like their land. So now we begin the siege of Talaxalan. You can see they have a small garrison army. This is going to be a Pyrrhic victory where I'm going to lose my foot squires. So we are going to spend a turn building some siege equipment, mainly the battering ram. Once this turns up, we will be able to attack and completely destroy Talaxalan. And we're not going to raise it. We're going to occupy it as one of our own. Okay, here we go. Pyrrhic victory still. We are going to fight this battle. Right, so here we go. The siege has begun. We're going to try and break. Ooh, it'd be dramatic to go through that center gate. But I think we're going to go through this flank. We can hide a lot of our infantry. We're going to bring cavalry, break our cavalry into two routes. So the Knights of the Iran are actually anti-infantry. So we're going to break them up like this. Give each block. And we're going to have our paladin lead one and keep Albaric near the center. Where our bows, well, our bows are going to be at the back. Let's give this a go. Right, we're going to send our foot squires up on the walls. We're going to send that unit up on the walls. These guys are going to march forward. Our cavalry, unfortunately, are going to take some hits, so we're going to send them really close to the towers to try and avoid getting shot by several of them. They are close. They probably should at least be safer. And we're going to bring the bows up in order to get some hot shots. You can see, unfortunately, they are peppering our horses, which is not ideal. There we go. We're going to pepper them back. Volley's going in. Now, unfortunately, our bowmen are not going to do much damage against them, but it will temporarily, hopefully, take some fire off these knights. We're not having a good time. In fact, we are going to back these knights off a little bit. They're not having a great time. We are going to hopefully back them out of range. But our ladders are now docking on the walls. We've got our first unit of men-at-arms going up the walls, ready to fight. Alongside our foot squires docking on this flank. Which has hopefully silenced the shots coming in on us. The battering ram's now approaching and hopefully ready to break down that gate. There we go. Our foot squires are up on the walls. Well, not our foot squires. But they are still up on the walls regardless. So we got our foot squires chopping through lizard. They are getting a bit mashed as they go up the walls, but they are currently holding up. They are still doing better than our peasants. But they are making a hold on the walls. Our battering ram, by the looks of it, has broken through, so we are going to now charge through with the rest of our units and try and secure this gate. Albaric's going first in. Albaric seeks the enemy's champion, but the enemy's champion is currently on the wall, so hopefully we can try and change that. And their skin cohorts are lining up quite nicely. We are going to try and bring the cavalry in once we've cleared out the gatehouse. The paladin is here as well to help out. There we go, getting some kills. Unfortunately, the peasants do seem to be breaking. Their hold on the walls not doing great. We're going to tell this unit to just kind of ignore that guy. And they're going to go into the back of these skink cohorts with javelins. We are slowly taking the walls. Albaric, bless him, is in a little bit of a mosh pit. He has got a friend, but he is in the mosh pit. The paladin himself doing work, not as much as Albaric though. The cavalry has unfortunately got stuck. The peasants have unfortunately broken. They are no longer holding the wall. We're going to move the archers back because they seem to be getting stuck. Once the lizards have fully evacuated the wall, we will send the archers up to the walls. We're going to try and get those two out, as this is not where they want to be. The paladin has managed to escape, which is a good sign.
Salvation beneath the banner of the lady. By the light of the holy
Gonna pop that just to make sure he doesn't
ride them down.
have any thoughts about breaking. We're gonna try and kill the lizardman leader and hope that that breaks them. On the nice, there does seem to be some confusion about what they're meant to be doing. But we have got whatever his name is. What is the lizard lord's name? I didn't bother to learn his name. We have Armatak, currently locked against the wall. There we go. Our peasants are getting onto the walls, ready to fire their arrows. Standing where their comrades, a lot of their comrades died, but they are peasants. Go and try and pull the knights out tech for a second.
Knights of the Ring. Protect.
We're going to try and charge them in a second.
Attack.
There we go, trying to get the charge. Oh, there goes our paladin.
The Bordelot. Hand of judgment.
Unfortunately, the lizards may have bested us already. So yeah, this is a big problem for Bretonia. Cavalry just do not perform well. We are going to fall back. This battle is not going in our way. We are going to retreat our army. Managed to get a lot of our units out. We are now going to retreat everything. I don't know why they're trying to retreat through... Why are you guys trying to retreat through the enemy? No, 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 no. Our knights should be out relatively quickly, which likely means the rest of the army will follow. That did not go well. They did massively outnumber us, so we have learnt something. That's to say, I have over 1,000 hours in this game, and that's how that went. Yep, there we go. Our cavalry should mostly get out. A little bit hurt. We did manage to kill a lot of that garrison force, but unfortunately our units were not pushing. Did lose 2 units. One of those is not currently replaceable. We are going to pull back, and while we're now back in our deployment zone, we are going to quickly grab at least one more peasant archer unit. We are going to just hopefully survive. So, our next tech we're going to do is overseas diplomacy. I think that's just going to get us some diplomatic bonuses. Ooh, we've got a choice here. Following a great festival with much revelry, there is a glut for leftovers. The peasants grumble about hunger and starving, but aren't they always? What do we do with this surplus then? So we could give it to merchants and craftsmen. That's going to give us a bit more income from trade tariffs, but we're not currently trading with anyone. So we are going to go give it to the peasants. As much as they are filthy little peasants, the growth is actually not that bad for us. Aquitaine is already dead. That's sad. Next turn, we should be ready to begin a siege on Talaxalan anew. Okay, so we've got our herbs, but more importantly, got our cavalry. You can see he's got a full army out, but most of that is skinks. We're going to hopefully start marching and see if we can persuade him, or even potentially draw him out. We are going to have to meet Skulltaker. Is also on that move. Skulltaker is actually generally a bit terrifying. We don't want to fight him. Ah, there we go. We see Skulltaker has unfortunately taken Talaxalan and burned it to the ground. So this is part of the problem with Skulltaker, and generally the Lustria campaign in general. Albaric was already in a bad position. Skulltaker has unfortunately made things much worse, and again, the Lustria Bowl has not really worked into Albaric's advantage, because Albaric is not a strong lord, because he is backed by a weak faction, at least mechanically. And his early game is not very good comparative to the other factions he is near.
Pure of heart.
So even if I want to take this right now, I cannot because it has been devastated. So we are currently now in a position where we have to try and chase down this guy before he burns down one of our actual settlements. I'd like to thank you for watching. Please remember to hit the like and subscribe button to see more content. Thank you.